I hope you're ready for some unindoctrination. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. I'm having a little bit of issue here with my sound. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you're coming through because I'm not hearing it as I normally do, but as long as you can, we're okay. So somebody give me a shout. In the meantime, we're coming to you live from the heartland of America, and we're coming to you with the spirit of 1776 and a rebel yell, ladies and gentlemen. And we have been pushed, we have been lied to, and they are trying to take our country away, and we're not going to stand for it anymore. Both of these flags mean the same thing. This flag was from a group of people that weren't going to take a tyrant 4,000 miles away. This flag is from people that weren't going to take a tyrant 400 miles away. And we will not stand for tyranny. This is a land of liberty, and we are divine, sovereign, and free. And you don't have to go unto somebody's savior and go on bended knee because you don't need salvation. You're divine, you're sovereign, and you're free, ladies and gentlemen. And I want you to know that. I want you to remember that. And today we're going to talk about something that, I look at stuff and I study stuff out and I find this stuff and I feel the same way that I did when I was in the Christian church and I started seeing all of these cracks in the foundation of big time religion. When I started seeing that Paul and Jesus taught different things, when I started seeing that Paul insulted women, when I started seeing that there's no way that Jesus was really crucified, when I started seeing he didn't spend 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the earth, when I started seeing all of this stuff, I realized, and I would ask myself, how come nobody else has noticed this? How can I be the only one? I don't know. I still don't know how I can be the only one. All I know is that I pretty much am the only one that's bringing a lot of these truths to you. I can't believe that no one else sees them. It's just that they know they're not popular and they know they're not profitable. So that's why we're the only ones bringing you what we bring you. And today is a perfect example of this. I can't be the first one to have ever figured this out. I can't be the first one to realize the dark Kabbalistic secrets of Robin Hood. Some of you are saying, okay, he's finally lost it. Jeff has finally lost it. Rose, of the people that give me thumbs down at the beginning of a show are those haters that follow channels populated by people that don't have the guts to debate me. That's who does it, just so you know. And I know some of you are saying, okay, he's finally lost it now. He says that Robin Hood has dark Kabbalistic secrets. Well, just hold on a few minutes and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And folks, I look at it, I study it, I can't believe it myself. Then the facts display themselves. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Robin Hood has been setting us up since the 15th century. It's been getting us into this mindset of that will allow the kind of foolishness that we're seeing. And we're going to take a look at it now and get ready to have your mind blown because this is crazy stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Robin Hood was a limb, and he's hiding a dark, deep, Kabbalistic magic secret. He really is. And I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds totally unbelievable, but it's true. And once you see it, it makes perfect sense. Lola says, oy vey. It makes perfect sense when you finally see it. And the only question, again, like I was sharing, is why haven't we seen this before? Why haven't we been told about this? Robin Hood's a story we all know and love. I've seen the Robin Hood movies. I liked them. I saw Men in Tights. Not that I like Men in Tights, but it was a movie. I saw the Kevin Costner movie. I liked it. I saw the Russell Crowe movie. I liked it. I saw, the old Errol Flynn movie. I liked it. But there's a hidden aspect from the very origins of the tale of Robin Hood that has been lost to time, and intentionally so, that Robin Hood was a protector of the limbs. That's who he was. That's what he was. And it's been twisted to put us into a place of compliance and surrender. So, this information I found on a Jewish news site called forward.com. And the limbs figured prominently in dramatic texts that began appearing in the 15th and 16th century. Why, ladies and gentlemen? Remember what we've talked about. Oh, Superman, Ken says. Ken, nice to see you. He says Superman too. I got to look up Superman now. Lionel's like, can't we have anything nice? I know, Lionel. I got to look up Superman. Thank you, Ken. Why did all of these, did the limbs start becoming prominent in the 15th and 16th centuries? Why did all of a sudden all the literature start being about the limbs and have limbs as the heroes? Why? We talked about this last week because it was in the 15th and 16th centuries that the limb Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press. It wasn't just religion that was limb-centric that they were publishing, but it was also all entertainment. They've been working us since the 15th century, hardcore, with the invention of the printing press. I know it sounds crazy, but just wait. You won't believe it. Robin Hood, and I guess Superman. I gotta look up Superman. I'll draw the line at Batman, though. There's no way Batman can be limbish, but we'll see. Anyway, right after Gutenberg invented the printing press, we saw this explosion of limb-centric literature, and it's a well-constructed, long-range propaganda plan, as Tracy says. Robin Hood is limbish apologetics and much worse. What does apologetics mean? That means when you are trying to support something that is demonstrably wrong, typically, but you're trying to find all the information to support it. That's my definition anyway. So let's move on. Robin Hood was a limb, and he's hiding a dark Kabbalistic secret. Robin Hood was limbish. And the article from forward.com equates Robin Hood's fundamental mission, and you're not going to believe this, the fundamental mission with the limbish practice of tikkun olam. Who knew what tikkun olam was? But tikkun olam is, according to the limbish religion, the repairing of the world via a forced redistribution of wealth. That's part of tikkun olam. Repairing the world via a forced distribution of wealth, stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. That is tikkun olam. Forced redistribution of wealth. Steal from the rich, give to the poor. And the concept of the tikkun olam comes out of the Mishnah, which is part of the Talmud, the same Talmud that says it's all right to have sex with 3-year-olds. The tikkun olam is also a staple of Lurianic Kabbalah. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. And I don't intentionally sit down and plan these things out so they dovetail together. I really don't. I got cigars over there. I need to have one because I do love it when a plan comes together. But I love it even more when there isn't a plan that is in my mind consciously, but obviously my subconscious and my higher self does have a plan because all of a sudden it comes together. I don't do this on purpose. I really don't. I'm just that good. I'm just that tuned in. And it's also a staple of Lurianic Kabbalah, which you know is black magic. So not only is Robin Hood a crypto limb, but Robin Hood is part of a Kabbalistic black magic agenda. Kelly's right. Ooh, here we go. The dark secrets of Kabbalistic magic. Repairing the world via a forced redistribution of wealth or stealing from the rich and giving to the poor is a thinly veiled metaphor for Lurianic black magic that comes from the Kabbalah. Tikkun olam dwells on the role of prayer, which is really a magical spell. Christians, if you're praying, you're doing black magic. It is the role of prayer and ritual, which is magical, to repair the world. They call it the work of rectification. Anything that starts with recta, it makes me nervous, but it's the work of rectification. They plan to remake our world via Kabbalistic black magic. And that makes me ask the question, and I'll probably do a show on this. Do we live in a realm, the realm itself, that is created by Kabbalistic black magic? Is this very realm in which we live created by Kabbalistic black magic? And is that why, Craig says that somebody that never existed taught him how to pray? Good for you, Craig. Cool story, bro. Is it possible that this world in which we live is actually a realm, a simulation or whatever that was created by Kabbalistic black magic, and we're here and we keep coming back till we figure out it's a realm that was created by Kabbalistic black magic? We're going to do a whole show on that. Prayers, which are spells. And Craig says, Jesus taught us how to pray. He did. He did. He taught you the spell. And he taught you to repeat it. And he taught you to pour your attention. Okay, I tried to be nice, but we just ban you from the channel. Ban! Be gone! How about that magic, bitch? All right. Anyway, prayers are spells which release the sparks of God's light, quote unquote, which is the magical intent of individuals, and allows them to reunite with God's essence, which means combined manifestation. You get a bunch of little people putting their intention out through these magical spells, and then the ruler of this realm adds his intention. You put it all together, and what do you got? You got the rectification. You got a gathering of light and souls to be achieved by human beings through the contemplative performance of religious acts, Kabbalistic black magic spells. And that's what they do. You like magic? How'd you like that magic? I made Craig Cooper disappear. Boom. The association between the Lurianic conception assigns ultimate significance to even small acts and small improvements of social policy driven by the Lemish cabal. Think about this. The littlest thing that you do. I was in sales a lot of years, and I was really, really good at it, and there were people that weren't very good at it. And I noticed that it's the little things. It's the little things that differentiate the really, really good from the really, really not good. It's the little things, and it's the little things in this world, and it's the little things in this Kabbalistic magic. It's the little things that count, because every little thing they do, every little bit of social policy, every little bit of change, it all compounds. It's like the old story of the straw that breaks the camel's back. One straw is not going to break a camel's back. 100 straws probably aren't, but 100,000 straws will. And Michael Greer shows how they even tell us this. The devil, they say, is in the details. So the littlest changes, that's why, Jeff, you really shouldn't say anything about gay people being called normal. That's not nice. It's a straw. Agreed. It's not a big deal. I have gay friends. Cynthia has gay friends. There's gay people that I would say I love, I enjoy. But I will not say that the lifestyle they choose is normal. We accept them. We protect them. We stand side by side with them as Americans. They can have the same rights as everybody else, just not any special rights. But we're not going to say it's normal, because that's one little small change in social policy. That's one little small change in a social, mental, psycho-spiritual agenda. Because when you say, that's normal, then you get, transsexual is normal. And I don't have any transsexual friends, but there's probably some transsexual people that are very nice, that are very respectful, that are great people, and they deserve equal rights too. But they just don't deserve any special rights. And while I would defend their life, their liberty, their pursuit of happiness, as long as it doesn't intersect with my pursuit of happiness, then we're on the same team. But when you start saying you've got to teach that what I do is normal, when you start saying you got to let some ugly ass dude in a wig teach your kids, that's where I draw the line. Next thing you know, there'll be one in the White House. It's the little things. That's why we have to stand. Because remember the old saying, those that stand for nothing will fall for anything? We got to stand, even though it's uncomfortable to stand. We'd much rather say, yeah, it doesn't matter what they do. Let them do what they do. And we do. But we don't let them advocate what they do in the public sector. I know, guys. I'm joking. So that's why we have to stand. That's why we have to stand. Communism is Kabbalistic black magic. The inescapable conclusion is that the Tikkun Olam is nothing more than the doctrine of communism. Stealing from the rich, giving to the poor, redistribution of wealth, and that being forced. Every communist revolution in history was and still is started by the limbs. Every single one, even China figured that out. How did a limb even get to China? I don't know, but they started it. And Robin Hood is the limbish dancing bear for stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. Robin Hood is the limbish dancing bear for communism. And we have been masterfully manipulated and conditioned for years. Errol Flynn, Kevin Costner, Russell Crowe, all the iconic Hollywood heroes that have played Robin Hood. It beggars description. You just can't make this stuff up. You just can't figure this stuff out. Now, Black Lives Matter and Antifa, they are communism. And they are also dark Kabbalistic magic. Don't put in comments if you haven't studied, because you're wrong. Black Lives Matter and Antifa are self-confessed Marxist organizations. They say we're Marxists. There are also militant LGBTQ activists, as I've shown. Black Lives Matter says that we are militantly for queer folks. Antifa says we're militantly for queer folks. Why? That's what we're here to talk about. Black Lives Matter, Antifa, not only they're Marxist, but they're militant LGBTQ activists. Why? Because they're trying to get us started down a slippery slope. These organizations are also Lurianic Kabbalistic black magic practitioners, and even the leadership knows it. Listen to this. And Patricia actually has a point. I'll try to remember it when we get to the point of discussing it. This is hard for me to say, but the Democratic Party, the National Basketball Association, the National Football League, Major League Baseball, National Hockey League are all part of Kabbalistic black magic spell. They're all part of the Kabbalistic black magic spell that's been cast over the United States of America. I hate to admit it, but back at its beginning, NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, they were all started with the end game, which is today, in mind. They weren't really started to entertain us. They were started to start weaving this Kabbalistic, communistic, black magic spell over all of us. It's hard to admit, but it's true. There are no bigger hockey fans than me. But I no longer will watch hockey because of what they're doing. They're supporting a black magic, Kabbalistic, communist, Marxist industry. And we're going to get to that, Ken. You're so right. He's talking about the music industry. It's time for us to withdraw our support and our participation from all of these groups. I know that's hard. I know that's difficult, but it is true. And people get upset with me for saying this, but I don't care. I really don't care, because there's only really one reason why I recommend great products like the C60 Purple Power, that, and Ken in the chat room there. C60 Purple Power is the CEO of it. Number one, I use it, and it's made a dramatic change in my life. It knocks the heavy metals out of your system. It's the best antioxidant on the planet. It actually empowers you from the cellular level, the mitochondria, which is the engine of your cells. It empowers it. It inspires it. It enthuses it. It gives it the fuel it needs. And if you are firing on all cylinders at the cellular level, just imagine the inertia that goes out into the rest of your body. And it does help you be divine, sovereign, and free. It does help you flourish and prosper. It does help you discover and live out your great basic purpose. And if that bothers you, then don't buy it. But if you want a little help, it'll give you a little help. C60 Purple Power. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com, click on the logo. There's a nice discount built in, or you can go to c60purplepower.com, use the code TCW10, and there's a nice discount built in there too. Kirsten says that it helps her with her mold exposure and illnesses. Great. And I'm glad to hear it. So let's look at this. Communism and dark Kabbalistic magic. This is the real battle being waged right now in the USA. This is the real battle being waged right now in the USA. We are facing an onslaught. We are being assaulted by dark magic from dark humans and Golem. I'm telling you right now, as I look at these videos and I look at these people out on the streets burning and looting and punching old people and beating up women and never, ever looking to come against not even somebody like me. I'm old, but they won't come after me because they know they better bring some lunch. They won't do it. Lola says we're being attacked by zombies, and we really are. Sometimes literally, there are dark humans that are running this. And there's also Golem, non-player characters, not really humans, subhumans. And we are not wrestling against spirits. We're not wrestling against angels. We're not wrestling against angels. We're wrestling against people. And they want you to think that you're battling demons. They want you to think that you need help from angels. No, we are battling spiritual wickedness by bad people in high places. And we've got to fight against people. All that's necessary for evil to prosper is for good people to stand by and do nothing and talk about angels. Like Steady Eddie says, I'm not even sure they're human. Some of them are not. The painting, the parroting of slogans all over our country, it's a magic spell. Why do you think Black Lives Matter, I bind the power of those words, is written all over the streets and the walls? Because they want you to see it. They want you to say it. It's a magic. It's a sigil. It's a spell. It's a spell and a sigil in one. It's a spigil. And they're designed to create intent. I watched Cynthia get affected by that intent. Me, I don't give a damn. It doesn't affect me. You can't get into my head. I don't know, probably because I'm this close to being a psychopath. I don't know. But I just live at the end of the timeline. I'm already in the victory. I know that we're going to win. I know it's over. And I already live in the victory. So I don't have anxiety. I don't have fear. I don't have worry. I don't have doubt. And I think it makes her mad sometimes. Why doesn't he get affected by any of this? I don't. I know that we win, and I live in the win. So I'm not worried about the details between now and then. But the slogans are spells. They're creating intent, and then all that intent gets combined. So even somebody like, I don't know, Andre Christensen, but if Andre Christensen starts saying those words, then Andre Christensen has allowed his intention to be hijacked and used by the BLM and the Antifa and the Black Magic Kabbalists and the communists and the Marxists and the Illuminatis and the Jesuits and the LIMS and the NWO. So they create their own intent, Then they hijack the intent of other people, and then all that gets combined for one last desperate blow against divinity, sovereignty, and freedom. And when we watch NFL, NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, movies, when we stop, I live in the wind, that would be a good one. When we participate in that, we contribute to it. We contribute energetically to it. I would love to watch hockey. My team is in the Eastern Conference Finals. They're up 2-0. And it bothers me that I can't watch. But I know that when I watch, I'm giving energy to it. And that energy is being used against me. So I just don't watch. Understand that each and every organization and each and every person that participates is complicit in the Kabbalistic black magic. I know that's tight, but I also know that's right. The Robin Hood connection. Let's talk to Robin Hood. Talk about Robin Hood. While tales differ as to Robin Hood's exact origins, it's generally accepted that Robin Hood hailed from Yorkshire in the north of England. Why is that important? Because Yorkshire in the north of England in the 13th century boasted a significant Limish settlement. So Robin Hood came from the place that there was a great big huge Limish settlement. Isn't that interesting? Robin Hood is typically portrayed as a contemporary and supporter of the late 12th century King Richard the Lionhearted. Makes me think of the lion of the tribe of Judah. Robin Hood was supported by a Limish moneylender named Isaac in the stories. And Isaac wasn't the first limb to play a role in the Robin Hood stories. The wicked sheriff of Nottingham, he was mad and had a grudge against the limbs because he was a victim of a usurious loan, a usurious debt. That means a bunch of interest that was carried by a Limish moneylender. Doesn't it blow your mind, all these little facts that they never told you about? But they get you into this story, they get you into this character, they get you into the steal from the rich, give to the poor. And we become complicit. Tell It To Me says it depends upon the intent of the words, Tracy. Nobody owns the language. Wrong. Thank you, Tell It To Me, for participating. Thank you for entering into the realm of ideas. But you also, when you enter into the form of ideas, you expose yourself to response. The language means things. That's why even though the New Testament was originally written in Hebrew, even though we read it and speak it in English, we are still manifesting the essence of the meaning of the original words. Yes, the intent is very, very important, but you can't say a black magic spell depending on what if your intent is all puppy dogs and unicorns and you say a black magic spell, you're going to still produce black magic results. I'm not attacking you, but that's a very, very important concept that we've got to get straight in our beings. Words mean things. Language means things. The linguistics means things. So does your intent. But you know the whole saying about putting a lipstick on a pig? It's still a pig. It's still a pig. Robin Hood was supported by a Limish moneylender named Isaac. The sheriff was upset. And the reason why the sheriff was so mean, was so bad, the only reason he was mean and so bad is because he'd been ripped off. He'd been ripped off. And keep in mind that at the time, well, how do you know he's just mad at the limbs? He could have been mad at somebody else. Well, at the time, money lending was only done by limbs. So he was mad at a limb. That's why he was so upset. The sheriff would stir up hatred of the limbs in and around Nottingham. The limbs would run and escape into Sherwood Forest, and Robin Hood would protect them. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. I try to be nice, but sometimes people just don't get it. If you say something that is inappropriate in the chat, it'll be removed. That's warning number one. If you do it again, Then you get put on timeout. That's warning number 2. If you come back again after being put on timeout, you get banned from the channel. You can still watch. You can still comment. You'll see the comment. It'll make you feel good, but nobody else will see it. This is a benevolent dictatorship. I'm here to get a message out. And I didn't build this channel. We didn't build this channel so you could get your message out. If you're polite, if you're not rude, you can comment. But you can't continue to, I'm not, I love, what's her name, Kayleigh McEnany, or what's her name, the presidential spokesman for Trump now. Love her. I think she lets those people cut her off and talk back to her too much. You don't let the president don't do that. President don't move back, doesn't do that. I'm more Trump than I am Kayleigh McEnany. I'm more Trump. Lionel says, don't ban me, bro. Oh boy. Robin Hood was actually supporting a shadow government operating in opposition to the true government, because the real king was off doing yes, I do have I have a whole video on the Lord's Prayer. Just look it up. He was off doing that thing over in the Holy Land. He was off doing what the hell was that called? The Crusades thing. What was that called? I think it was called the Crusades. He was off doing that Crusades thing. And so it was a shadow government, just like now, Barack Obama trying to run a shadow government in opposition to President Trump, and the limbs are supporting Barack Obama's shadow government. And I'm not saying shadow government just because he's black, but I had to, I'm sorry. But it's a direct correlation. Robin Hood's about today, ladies and gentlemen. It's about today. It's about today. And Robin Hood was supporting a shadow government, just like BLM and Antifa and the fake news and the ass media here on YouTube. They're supporting a shadow government operating in opposition to the true government. And that's exactly what we're seeing played out today. How could they know? How could they have seen what was going to happen in 2020? How are they such good prophets? Well, they're really not. This isn't the first rodeo for these people. They've been doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. It's just our turn. That's why people that fail to learn history are doomed to repeat it. Not because you forgot what year Columbus sailed the ocean blue, not because you forgot what day of the week that Napoleon was defeated at Waterloo, but because you can't see the trends. You can't identify when this begins to happen, that means this is going to happen. That's what you've got to learn to do with history. And that's what we're here for, to help you get to that place. Lola knows it was 1492. And the silver screen just can't seem to get enough of Robin Hood. His story has been remade numerous times as a film, a movie, beginning with the 1908 silent movie, Robin Hood and His Merry Men. Does that am I reading into that, or does that kind of have LGBTQ implications as well? I don't know, maybe not. But many, many movies, 1908, Robin Hood and His Merry Men, dozens of movies each decade. Dozens of movies each decade. Errol Flynn, 1938. Elizabeth Taylor, 1952. Kevin Costner, 1991. Russell Crowe, 2009. Wow. Robin Hood has inspired comic books. What's the one on TV right now? Arrow. Robin Hood's inspired comic books, animated films, TV shows, video games, jazz, classical songs, even pop and rock songs. Even Ren and Stimpy, Super Mario Brothers, they've all tackled the Robin Hood legend. Do you see the lengths and the extent to which they go to program us by black magic? Who is Hollywood probably run by? Gary, you're right. The ships were bought by them. They were captained by them. They were crewed by them. And he was one of them. 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Everybody that came with them was who? And they can't help but rub it in our face. They can't help, and I think they have a moral imperative, natural law, plausible deniability. They got to tell us the truth. And along comes Mel Brooks, Robin Hood, Men in Tights. If you didn't see that, there's something wrong with you. I'm kidding. I actually saw a live production of it in Las Vegas where Mel Brooks actually showed up. Yeah, crazy. Robin Hood, Men in Tights. They let the secret out in Robin Hood, Men in Tights. Because in Robin Hood, Men in Tights, Friar Tuck was portrayed as a Yiddish-speaking Hasidic rabbi or Rebbe. They let the truth out. Friar Tuck was really a Yiddish-speaking Rebbe. I don't know if they're just going to Rebbe and a rabbi, but that's what they say, Rebbe. All other modern portrayals omit and hide the secret Limish history of Robin Hood, but Mel Brooks stood up and told us the truth. And this character, this Robin Hood character, has intentionally been made culturally ubiquitous. It's everywhere in order to soften us up. I mean, you even got these Disney movies of Robin Hood, right, with the fox. They want us all to know, what is a fox? A fox is sly. A fox is sneaky. A fox will sneak up on you, right? Wow. And a fox is a lot like a wolf, isn't it? Wow, interesting. So what does it really mean to us today? Well, we're living right now in the final charge, the last great offensive of a Limish, Kabbalistic, black magic Robin Hood scenario right now. The official mantra of the communist, aka Democratic Party, is steal from the rich and give to the poor. They say it. What does Joe Biden say when he's not snoring? I'm going to raise your taxes. They all want to raise your taxes. And who do they want to raise it on? Who does? Bernie Sanders. I'm going to steal from the rich. And how about Pocahontas? We're going to tax the rich people. How about Carmela, whatever the hell her name is? Do you know that her ancestors came from India and went to Jamaica and had a bunch of black slaves, and now she's in America running for vice president as an African American? Only in America, ladies and gentlemen. Only in America. Thank you, Cynthia, for telling me about that. Wow. Ken says that Rebbes are cult leaders of Hasidic Jewish groups. Rabbis actually have formal religious training. Thank you so much, Ken. I did not know that. So the official Communistic Democratic Party's mantra is steal from the rich, give to the poor. Just like its social justice, Lurianic repair mechanism surrogates. What does Black Lives Matter want to do? What did Kamala say? She said, well, and they asked her point blank, when you was in LA and you were the DA, you said you'd raise your hand for more cops on the street. Would you still do it? She wouldn't answer the question. She says, I noticed that in the places where there's better houses and better cars and more money, there ain't many cops. But I noticed in the places where there are a lot of cops that everybody's broke. What was she saying? She was saying we need to steal from the rich and give to the poor. Think about that. Think about that. What does Black Lives Matter say? Steal from the rich, give to the poor. What does Antifa say? Steal from the rich, give to the poor. We got to realize, folks, that this is going on, and it's going on right now. We have to see that it's been going on for a long, long time. We have to act. We have to fight, and we're going to win. And when I say we have to fight, I'm not saying you got to lock and load, even though if you don't have at least a good handgun and a good shotgun, you're crazy. You're crazy. But when I say we must fight, I mean we must take off our damn mask and say, I am not wearing a mask. If you have a business, you need to open your business and say, my business is open. And when 33% of us take off our mask and 33% of us open our businesses, the people that study us to see how to conquer us, according to Christopher Fulton, author of The Inheritance, have admitted once it gets to 33%, they can't get it back. They can't get it back. That's the kind of fight I'm talking about. I'm talking about 33% of us. When you go out without a mask on and somebody gets in your face, you say, look, if you can make believe that one works, just make believe I'm wearing one. When 33% of us are out having a dinner and a Black Lives Matter comes up and yells in your face and you pop them right in their beak, we're not talking about violence. Well, maybe that would be a little violent. You know what I mean. We're simply talking about when 33% of us refuse to be compliant anymore. When 33% of us refuse to bend over and grab our ankles anymore. When 33% of us refuse to take a knee. When 33% of us won't watch the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball. When 33% of us won't go to the movies anymore that have these actors and are from these companies. When 33% of us won't watch the TVs anymore. When we get to that place, they won't be able to control us. And I know that the other, 33, I'm terrible at math. What is it? 67%. I know there's 67% of you that won't do anything until the 33% of us do it first. But we got to be the 33. We got to be the ones. The pioneers take all the arrows. We got to be the one to be willing to get thrown out of Walmart. Although I think Walmart's probably not making you wear a mask. We got to be the one that's willing to get thrown out of the grocery store. We got to be the one that's willing to get thrown out of the bank. We got to be the one willing to make a scene. I'm telling you, the next place I go in that tells me I can't wear a mask, I'll say, I am not wearing a mask and I am not leaving. I will make them call the police. Now, I'll leave before the police show up, but I'll make them. I'll make them. It's time for us to stop being compliant. Ooh, mask burning. Lisa Love, that's a great idea. Cynthia's like, oh no. That's a great idea. We must act. We must fight. And I'm telling you, folks, we will win. There is no doubt about it. We will win. In fact, we've already won, and you just don't know it. We've already won, and you just don't know it. And another thing that I have to mention that'll help you get to where you want to go is the Focus Life Force Energy. I only have 2 sponsors now. I know the stuff works, and I know you'll get it as soon as you ask for it. And I like that. Focus Life Force Energy on your phone. You can take it with you. It'll help mitigate. Maybe that's why I don't see so much craziness when I'm out there. Maybe that's why I don't see so much craziness when I'm out there, because I've got Focus Life Force Energy on my phone. At least 60 feet all the way around me. I don't get much craziness. One lady asked me, well, 2. I've been asked once, how come you don't have a mask on? You're supposed to be wearing a mask. I said, well, I'm supposed to be wearing underwear too, but here we are. She just walked away. The other time, you're supposed to be wearing a mask. Well, hey, if you can pretend yours works, can't you just pretend I have one on? It went away. But you can get the high consciousness environment, beam to your phone, beam to your home. You can get a 30-day trial, but just get it. Just get it. It's amazing, amazing stuff. And I won't be without it again. I'll tell you that much. Let's go into the chat room and see what you folks have to say. Thanks for listening to me for 44 minutes. I've got another great, I love Q. I think Q is almost never wrong, but Q really dropped the ball the other day. And it's very important that we understand how Q dropped the ball and that we have to hold Q accountable, just like we have to hold President Trump accountable. If he starts messing up, I'll be the first one to call him on it. He just hasn't yet. Q messed up, but we're not jumping off the Q bandwagon. We still think Q does a lot of good stuff, but we're going to look at what Q did and why. It's very, very important. I'll probably do that tonight. We'll see what happens. We have a celebration with one of Cynthia's daughters. If I get home in time, I'll do that show tonight. So Lola says, ouch. I think that was in reference to the rectification statement that I made. Isn't a Jubilee a reset? Yes, it is. Let's see what else we got. We're in a training simulation where we can learn. I agree with you. I don't know if it's a simulation, but it's definitely a training environment. I agree. They all Ghost. Here is a scholar right here. Ghost says they're servants of the Ein Sof. Yes, they are. That's good stuff. I didn't even go there because it's just so far out and deep that most people can't even get there. Good for you, Ghost Forest. Very learned and studied individual. Lionel likes that training situation. Yep. Let's see. They're stealing the attention of others to make their world. Yes, they are, Radner, but not our intention. Not anymore. The devil is in the details. People worship the Bible God as their master. They do. Every little thing she does is magic. Every little thing just turns them on. Not anymore. Not going to let it happen. No special rights, says Kirsten. I agree. Michael has gay cousins. I don't care about what they do with their lives. It's their business. I agree 100%. 100%. Let's see. Lionel got gay people in his family. He loves them the same. 100%. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. I look for 15 years now for someone who could read. That's funny. We need to stand up and protect our children. Listen, folks, between now and November 3rd, keep your children close. Very, very close. I don't care if they scream. I don't care if they squeal. I don't care if they say they hate you. I can't go. Everybody else. My dad had the best line. Well, Dad, everybody's doing it. And he would always say, not everybody, because you won't be there. And he was right, and I wasn't, and I'm here now. Until November 3rd, keep your children very, very, very close. Very, very, very close. We as individuals have a right to choose. Yes, we do, Charles. Stop shoving it down our throats and pushing it on our kids. Your lifestyle is absolutely true. I don't go out there, and we don't have any heterosexual pride parades. Why? Because they're stupid and we don't need them. We got better things to do than go out there and strut around because we're heterosexual. We don't care. The Lord's Prayer is a spell. Absolutely. Robin Hood, smokescreen for real agenda. Yes and no. It's a smokescreen to distract us from the real agenda, which Robin Hood is really emblematic of. Thank you, Lola. Very good one. There's as many Robin Hoods as there are Jesus movies. Lionel, that's a great observation. It's true. It's true. The money never seems to make it to the poor. It disappears somewhere along the way. It does. It does. Good statement, Ken. Let's see. Charles says we've been so manipulated under the guise that it's just a story, not knowing where the story came from. Very interesting, Jeff. Thank you. And I knew you would think that it was very, very interesting. Antifa and BLM, Charles says, are democratic socialists. They absolutely are. It's in entertainment. It's in media, says Tracy. Absolutely. Heather Clark says Robin Hood equals cutoff hood equals stem cells grows. Incredible links there. Eating foreskin. Okay, Heather. All three letters, says Lola. That's interesting. Music industry, says Ken. Kelly won't be watching the NFL. Me either. You know what? I was gonna get NFL Sunday ticket. I was gonna buy a Tampa Bay Tom Brady jersey. Man, they're gonna be good this year. I've been waiting. I've been suffering. And now here's Tom Brady, Leonard Fournette, Gronkowski, and I can't watch. Part of me is upset. Part of me sad, but not the part that is integrity, not the part that's divine, sovereign, and free. Is the Olympics blemish? Could be. I have to look into that. That's a really good point. Lionel says all sports and entertainment. I think he's right. The mainstream media and the ass media on YouTube, they are the implanters. We are being attacked by zombies, like Lola says. That was Ghost Forest. Before that, Steady Eddie's not sure they're human. I agree 100%. Lola says the subjugated humans with the cardboard people in the audience of current sports shows. That's so true. And there's really not much difference, is there? Lionel says that he thinks they're human, but they're possessed with parasitic entities. I don't know, but that's interesting. I don't know. Speduled. Yep, they're spedules. Let's see. It's already over. Yep, we're just watching a movie. Well said, William Baird. They are all child stalkers. I agree. That would be a good shirt. I live in the wind. Keep your body clean and healthy. That definitely helps. That's why I talk about the Focus Life Force Energy. That's why I talk about the C60. And Gummy Bears claims to be a descendant of the real Maid Marian. I didn't know that there was a real Maid Marian. Maybe there was. Interesting. Well, we know that it goes back to factual events. So could be. Very, very interesting. Nice to see Nika in the house today. We are exposing this crap that's secure, says Freeman. Absolutely. Tell it to me. They run it in the commercials, getting it in your head. They do. Choose your words, says Michael Greer. What else we got? Lionel says you've got the power to override. You do. Don't ban me, bro. Kaylee's pretty. Of course, you're more Trump, Jeff. That's cute. Yeah, that's funny. Let's see. Robin the Hood, says Lola. It's the same archetype, different clothes, says Warrior 5D. That does sound like it's gay related. The actors were handpicked, says Lola. Very interesting point. Let's see. Disney cartoon, there's even a snake. Really? Oh, that's right. There is. Thank you, Jennifer. We're talking about the Robin Hood thing. Ken says there's a platform called Robin Hood. It's a stock trading platform that steals from fools and gives to the insiders. Ooh, how about that? Let's see. Great comment about what the difference between a Rebbe and a rabbi. I'll read this. AAMC. Jeff, I just had a thought. Not sure if there's any meaning. Have you noticed that most of the people are crying to say their name have two first names, as in George Floyd, Jacob Blake? No, I hadn't noticed that. Interesting. Let's see. Socialism wants everybody equally poor. That's true, because the poor are controllable. Politicians really prefer unarmed peasants as well. Gary Baxter, a Ruger 9mm, a Winchester 30-30, and a Mossberg 12 gauge. I salute you, Gary. You're a great American. We need that. You got to be ready. I won't even go through our arsenal. It'd take a minute. Let's see. Taxation is theft. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Robert Stanley just sent me something. That's interesting. Let's see. Love and agree with your thoughts, but quite honestly, this is a different Robin Hood version than I'm aware of. Well, you just got to study more, man, woman, whatever. You just got to study more. I just go back to the actual facts of the matter. That's all. I'll bring matches. I don't have a mask. There we go. Mask burning. I like it. Never surrender, says Michael P. Timothy wants to know, are the limbs reptilian? I don't know. Well, get out of New Jersey. You can still. The names have first names as the last name. I don't know. Interesting stuff. Well, folks, that's a conclusion of another round of Podcast Excellence. I do appreciate you for being here. Please give us a thumbs up if you like it, a thumbs down if you hate it. Please subscribe. If you love this content, subscribe, hit the bell twice so you'll always be informed of the new programs. If you hate us, it's subscribe, because you got to keep your eye on me. You never know what I'm going to do next. You never know. Red, yellow, black, and white, they're all precious in our sight. We love all the children of the world. We stand with all the children of the world. And we are not afraid to discipline any and all of our children. I do have a new newsletter, as Lionel points out. If you want to go to jeffreydaugherty.com, you can subscribe to the newsletter. It's we just got the other one out, the latest one out on Monday. Well, they come out every single Monday. I appreciate it very, very much. Gummy Bears, thank you so much. I appreciate your participation and your politeness, your courtesy. That's what I was looking for. All right, ladies and gentlemen. You are divine, you're sovereign, you're free. You're not born with original sin. You've got the spark of divinity within. You don't have to go on bended knee to anybody else's savior because you don't need salvation. You don't. You're divine, you're sovereign, you're free. All you have to do is continue to ask questions, and perhaps more importantly, continue to question the answers that you're given. And through rain, snow, sleet, dark of night, trolls, attacks, all of that, your mailman, will continue to make my appointed rounds. I will continue to bring you to water, hoping you'll drink. I'll continue to bring you objective truth, hoping you choose to think. I'll bring you the checks, and you'll love me. And I'll bring you the bills, even though I know you'll hate me. I will keep my appointed rounds. For our great moderators, Tracy, Jama, and everyone else, I appreciate you very much. For the lovely Cynthia, who without her, none of this would be here, and it certainly wouldn't be as good. We salute you for being here, seeking after truth. I'm the mailman, Jeffrey Daugherty, your Christian whistleblower. And folks, you've got mail. Read it, and we'll see you again real soon.